Right, getting pretty solid play. Really proud of the team, the seniors, the captains. We voted this week, and we kind of rotate game captains. Got a bunch of leaders, but Kofi and Greg Heben and Ted Bowles were selected captains. So happy for those guys as their senior deal. We made a big deal this week, not about senior week and last week and not being a bowl team. We just talked about, as we always say, we want to get one day better, so this should be our best week. So our whole emphasis this week was, to have our best preparation and best meetings and try to go out today and not play perfect, but play our best. And there's a lot of good ball, a little bit of ugliness here and there, but for the most part, it's a good win. Have to get the bucket for the seniors and for the team. And, sitting here, finish at 5, a little bit of improvement, a lot of work to do. But again, I think a strong foundation really has been set by these guys. And as we keep building, I think we'll look back to some things that the Bolzers and Hebens and Ewalds and Hughes and DeWeese Wilson, those guys have given to us. They've committed a lot of time and effort to me, our staff, to this school, and I think they'll walk out there they need to walk out with their heads real high. I think they know we've got to keep building and cash in on the foundation they've laid. I think we've got a strong foundation, and if we're fortunate enough to do what I think we're capable of and keep moving and have success, I'm going to reflect back to those guys, keep those guys a big part of what we do, because it's a good crowd of seniors for us this year.
Kevin, when you went with Trey and obviously good performance, can you talk about that?
Well, again, I think all those guys are capable of playing well. Really thought today we needed to run it. Really thought we needed to take advantage of him in space. I really think, and if you ask him, I bet you tomorrow he's going to have a hard time moving around. Because I think if you go back and look, a year ago, coming off this injury, he got down 163 pounds last year. And he goes through all last season getting healthy. I don't know if he had a chance to develop. The same with Sudfeld, those guys, they've been in competition. We got to develop that position because all those guys can play really good. And this year we've played pretty good at that spot, and sometimes not good at all. And sometimes the surrounding components doesn't make our quarterback look good. But thought we needed to run it a little bit today. I just thought it'd be one of the keys to us having a chance is trying to play as good a run defense as we could, and to try to have a good running game and have a little bit more designed quarterback run. Over the long haul, I don't think his body can hold up right now. If we play that kind of game every week, I don't think he lasts so long. So as we start into his off season, we'll be talking about natural healthy of how to start really getting better and getting your body right to be a complete player. We're going to keep bringing Nate and Cam along and see how those things play out. But happy for Trey and not surprised.
Was Tevin not being available part of that too, a little bit?
A little bit, because again, there's thought Steven and D'Angelo are capable.
Yeah.
But thought we needed to get a little bit of him with the run game. Again, we had Tevin dressed, and he went through yesterday trying to go. And actually, he's pretty good. He's probably a couple days away, but really just couldn't cut. And we weren't going to put, he needed to quote food. You get greedy, and if we were greedy and trying to get him some stats, he probably could have played today and got a stat. But we really would have been jeopardizing his health and long-term deals. So, and he worked really, really hard to get back, because I know he wanted to play and play with his teammates. I think he wanted to play with his teammates more than worry about some stat. But it was really nice to see Steven and D'Angelo really step up today.
Did he have a chance of playing today, or did you guys just put him in uniform or did you put him in uniform?
I think he wanted to. He practiced Thursday in uniform, and I think we kind of decided. I think yesterday the walkthrough he couldn't go, but he wanted to dress, and he's capable of moving around and doing things. It's just not full cut to make some of those hard dynamic cuts that you got to make. It wouldn't last.
Coach, can you just talk about? It seemed like all of the key seniors that you talked about got in on the action today. Either Heben making tackles, and some of your offensive guys having big games. Can you just talk about how they're able to go out making good contributions in this win?
Again, and I think a credit to them, because hopefully they were listening, because my thought was to them, you got a long time to reminisce and remember, but you got one chance to play this week and play this game. And there's a way you prepare to go play. So I think it comes back to, again, your focus and your preparation and your mindset. That doesn't mean the call's going to come your way. The coverage is going to allow throw to get to you. But it was really good to get those guys involved, and all those guys contribute. We needed them all.
Your wideout core made a couple of plays early. I thought they really set the tone. Hughes had the catch down on the 1 yard line. We managed to stay in bounds. And then Cody took looked like a near interception away and managed to get to the pylon. talk about how the wideouts really look to step up to.
They've been a good group, and I don't know if I've always thought this way, but one of our coaches on offense, it's not the receiver coach, said, when our receiver starts making plays and our passing game's going, the whole team goes, yeah, we're on today. It's kind of like maybe like in the basketball team, when a guy makes a couple threes, you think the guy's got a hot hand. So not that we're trying to do that, but even though we had a great running day, which we needed to do, I do think a couple of those plays, and Trey getting in rhythm, a couple of those third down conversions, hitting some of those crossing routes were nice to see and we needed, and that's where some of those seniors got involved with Deweese and Kofi and whatnot.
Kevin, can you say at the point in time whether or not you anticipate changes in the defensive staff after this season?
Well, yeah, I expect a lot of changes because we got to get better. So what are those changes? Do we practice differently? Do we change majors and take tougher major classes so that we're tougher players? Do we put our left sock on first instead of our right sock? I mean, when you're not doing things the way you need to do, you need to make improvement. So the first change that we'll do is me reflecting here the next couple weeks of recruiting, where are we at and what's correctable, what can we fix? And then with that, we'll have some changes. Greg Heben's leaving. We'll see how some of these guys will stay in the same spots. We got a couple guys will have some minor surgeries. Spring ball, we're going to recruit some guys. So every year is different. And I know this, our guys have worked hard, and we made some progress, and our schedule is reasonably competitive, and we came up a little short, but our goal is not to be competitive, it's to win, and we weren't quite good enough this year. And it's my job to look at the whole picture of what we can do and not have excuses, not point fingers, anything, but to keep pushing the win games. Because we got a great school. The school's making a phenomenal commitment to our kids, to our program, and to give our fan base a product. It's my job to manage it and not have excuses. So I'm going to look, again, we got 2 weeks of hard recruiting, and from there it will really reflect across the board like one of my comments on the field day was, well, some of our guys aren't big enough in body weight. We got to keep working on getting bigger. One of my comments again, we need more speed. What can we recruit it? Do we look at offensive players on defense? In open day, we looked at a couple of guys, offense to defense. Do we look at some linebackers at DN? Do we recruit more backers? You can go JC. Make sure you get a JC guy that can play. Because we had a couple guys today, like Ryan Thompson's playing a fair amount at the end. He's done. Some of our other second-year players, like Wes Rogers and Jacob Bailey, been playing here recently. They're going to keep developing. And so, to me, we're not satisfied with 5 and 7. And I'm proud of the way our guys have worked, and respect them, appreciate them, and I don't have a lot of do-overs. Wish a couple competitive plays, games, we'd have made a play, made a different call, coached better, made a stop, made a first down, made a touchdown. When you're sitting there looking at a couple games against, a couple 3 teams that are 8 and 4s or 7 and 5s or 8 and 4s or 9 and 3s, whatever, and you're needing one play. And if that's the case, so we're sitting here not being a bowl team, everyone's be mad, yet where do we really flounder away? Our flare pass that didn't get executed in Minnesota. But you get in a one possession game, you can miss a play. And our deal is we're going to keep coming. So we do that, and the first thing that I will address is me and what I can do first. Because I think that's my charge from the administration, and that's my job. And I'm gonna point more thumbs at me than fingers at people, and then from there we'll start looking at what we need to do. Because we have a chance. It's going to be a good schedule next year. We got a chance to be a good team and keep building, and I expect our team to do that.
How important was it to get this win? Not only to beat Purdue, beat your rival, but to get that 5th win and have that improvement from last year.
I don't want to say we put everything into it, saying we had to, but from the cosmetic side, that's the thing that's still lacking. That's the W. So cosmetically, it's the 3rd Big Ten win. Last year we only had 2. It's our first time beating a rival in my 3 years. It's 5 instead of 4. It's not what you want. You're not beating your chest and proud of it. But at the same time, it is showing that you're gaining on it. You'd like to gain on it faster. And if I got one regret, it's my play calling or thought process or schematics that get us coming up short. But at the same time, you look at how we played. We've played well in the stadium. I think we've won now, 7 here in the last couple of years, and lose a game by 2, 3, 4, and 6. We play some competitive football out here. We're getting where the team's competitive. This year, except for one bad weather day, this team's competed. And we're still not good enough, though. I mean, because and we're never going to have it, Alex, but we're going to keep striding. So to me, more than anything, I think some seniors can take some pride and feel like their work is a little bit better. Because I was really worried that crowd feeling, because I'm telling you, I don't know if you understand the commitment, and times talk's cheap, but what those guys have went through for 3 years, and their time on task is extremely high. And you play minimal minutes and seconds and reps versus the time on task to get there. So for those guys to taste that victory, to put an eye on the bucket, and to get that thing means, I think, as much for them, than cosmetically got 5. But I can look at those guys and say, yeah, appreciate you, it's better. We're gaining, and we're gaining because of you.
Take 2 more questions.
Kevin, did you enjoy the whole bucket ceremony, get a chance to get on the field with all the players, and take some satisfaction in that?
I can be, I think, a little emotional, so I'm trying real hard to stay real calm, collective, and because you got the exhilaration you want to feel, and almost the tears of last times of playing with guys. So what we did, we just want to kind of kind of get with both sides, and then my background is, if you have an opportunity to get a trophy, you kind of take a little celebration picture and want to put the captains out there and on the field, get a shot with those guys. So it was really a little bit more for the players than for me.
Yes.
So what, you guys good?
You said that your goal as a football team is to get better every day, and then theoretically this game should have been your best game. Was this your best game as a team, and how did your team develop throughout the season compared to your expectations?
There's a couple, we're a little high, and that's a great question, and to sit here and say, I think based on the circumstances and emotion, I was really worried about being emotionally drained coming off the last 2 weeks, and, it's kind of the culmination, you're not a bowl, you get that little blank kind of look in your face where guys come out and have the energy of fighting. We're working real hard this week to push the right buttons to get them mentally in a great state to go attack, go be aggressive, go fly around and play this game. But we played a couple good games this year. I mean, there's a couple teams that I think are really brilliant. We've got some teams, some wins over some teams with winning records that I think were good. So there's some other games where maybe stat-wise, but I think with the dynamics of coming off 2 really good opponents, 2 bad performances as offense, defense young, some injuries, I think to come out and play for the most part with a lot of effort and energy says a lot to those seniors, and it tells me that they're listening. And again, it's my job to keep doing whatever we're doing here and changing to put us in better places, to keep building these guys, because there's a lot of buy-in. And I said this all year, of all my years coaching, this is probably as much fun and as much respect I've had with a group of players. So I appreciate the way you do your business, what you're doing, because these guys have embraced our values. They're going to be great Hoosiers post here. I think they've laid a great foundation. If we can keep doing it, it's going to be difficult and a lot of work to do, but we're going to keep plugging. I think it goes back to a great group of guys that bought in, and that's what got us through today. That being said, this was a pretty good win because it was set up to be a little bit of a letdown. And I'm happy for those men. They got us through today. Thanks, guys. Have a great one. Appreciate you being here.